disappointed and frustrated, I guess. I thought we played much better in that first half than they did. We did everything right. We probably should have come in at half-time a try up. I think the maul was collapsed there right on the line. And does that change things? I don't know, because we spoke at half-time about trying to get out of our end and being a little bit more aggressive coming out of our end, and we failed to do that in the second half, and they certainly played better footy in that second half. So yeah, well, it was a game of two halves, and we gave ourselves every chance coming into half-time, and then you know, the guys worked. There was no doubt the guys worked and put as much effort into that as they possibly could. We just didn't execute when we needed to.
Small margins for errors, isn't it? Like they a couple of drop balls at the start of the second half there, and that's all their advantage.
Yep. Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah. You look at that and the amount of territory that they had. I think we defended with some aggression and energy and intent, and you know, saved a number of tries just from desperation out there. But yeah, when we had the ball, we didn't execute as well as we should have.
Steve, was it always the plan to bring Christian at half time, or what prompted that decision?
No, James Dargaville got a head knock just before half time and was ruled out at half time. So Christian we weren't planning on bringing him on at half time, but we were certainly bringing him on at some stage in the second half, and it was good to see him out there. It was yeah, it was a little bit emotional to see him in the change rooms, take his bib off and get ready to go out on the field, and I thought he played exceptionally well. So he had a number of nice touches out there on the field, and a couple of good carries, a couple of kicks, and hopefully we're going to see a lot more of him next year.
Just what was that moment like for you guys?
What's that, sorry?
What was that moment like for you guys?
Yeah, it was awesome. We found out at half time we knew he was going to come on at some point, and he's been training really well throughout the week and providing that composure and that smile he's got, and just lifts the energy of the whole team. So running out with him in the second half was an amazing experience for what he's been through.
Just on that second half, the 60-minute mark seems to be a bit of a telling one, especially in Australian rugby. You see it well, these All Blacks, you've seen it a few times this season where they kind of run away with it. What do you put that down to?
Put it down to pressure and territory. I mean, they played. We didn't even get out of our own half until what, 70 minutes maybe. Yeah. So if you play that long and they keep knocking on the door in our own half, I mean, we can't put any pressure on them in our own half. So we need to get out, get down there, stick to our set piece, which is what we wanted to do in the first half, and we got some good results out of that. So if we can't clear our own end and be clinical like that, we're not gonna win matches, and we're not gonna put pressure on in the second half. So that's what happened tonight, and it was pretty disappointing. But look, the Hurricanes are a class act, and they capitalised on the opportunities they got.
Steve, obviously it's a hard note to end on at the Brumbies, but what sort of shape do you think the club's in for next year?
Really good, I think. If you look at the number of guys that got their first Brumby cap this year and where the team's come from, and the fact that we were written off at the beginning of the year, I think they said that we were going to come fourth in the Australian Conference. So we've certainly achieved a few things this year and put ourselves in a really strong position for next year. There's no doubt about that. Some guys are moving on from the squad this year, but we'll get some new faces in there, and I think we're going to learn. It's a young squad, and we're certainly going to learn from this experience.
I guess you get Christian Larkham and David Pocock aren't two bad players to slot into what you've built.
Yeah, I mean, we were without Thomas Cabelli and Christian Littlefano. We lost Lausi Taliuli at the start of the season, and we get David Pocock back next year. So, I mean, we've had a number of guys, like I said, play for the Brumbies for the first time. Some guys who were uncontracted at the start of the season had to come into the team because we picked up so many injuries, and Devet Roos, Andy Muirhead, and they've all been a part of this journey this year, and it's, yeah, like I said, I think we can take a lot out of it. We can certainly be very proud of what we've achieved.
And it is your last game, how are you feeling
Hasn't really sunk in at this stage. I think the game's too fresh. There's plenty of things to review in my own head about this game, the preparation for this game, and then obviously the season, and then I think the emotional kick in after that once you've had a bit of a look at the season and you realise where maybe we've gone wrong or where we've gone right, and the good times we've had along the way and the disappointments we've had along the way. I think then I'll probably get on to thinking about the fact that I'm not going to be here next year.
Sam, can you sort of put into words Stephen's legacy at the club? It's a big one, obviously, but...
Well, half the stadium's named after him, so it's a pretty good legacy. Look, Bernie's been here the whole time I've been here, and he's been massive for my development. I know the development of the rest of the players in the squad. I know he's very close with Christian. He's brought him a long way, and the whole squad he's done. The organisation's been part of his whole life. I don't actually know what he's going to do when he leaves. So, look, I've got nothing but praise for what Bernie's done for this club, for this organisation. Everything he's developed down here. He's brought new players through. It's a very organic club, and what we've achieved this year, although disappointing tonight, has been far more than what we set out at the start of the year. So that comes down to him and what he's done with the squad.
It might be hard after the loss, but sort of same question I gave Stephen, it's a pretty bright future for the club.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's disappointing for us because we had a chance to do something special tonight, and we were going the right way about it in the first half, but we let ourselves down in the second half, and that's disappointing, and that counts as a disappointing season for us, even though we've achieved as much as we could. But we'll have to rebuild, look at what we've got next season. I mean, Dan is the coach next year. He's been in the organisation for 5 years now. We've got Lord coming back. We've got a bulk of the squad still here. We've got Poe coming back, Christian hopefully playing some more games. So it is looking good, but we can't rest on that. We've still got to look to get better.
Guys, have you ever seen New Zealand rugby this strong? 26 on the trot now. Is it fair to say they're just too good at the moment?
Oh, they're in a good place, we could say, yeah. But as we saw in the first half, they're not unbeatable. But as Walker said, the margin for error is so fine. So if we keep the pressure on for 80 minutes and play the way we did in the first half, we can beat them. They're not unbeatable by any means.
How do you guys put that out of your head, then going into Brumbies and obviously first legs letting them knock away?
Well, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. I mean, we've been so focused on the Hurricanes this week. I mean, I guess we'll have to digest that for a bit, have a couple of days off, and hit it next week, worry about that next week. I mean, that's too fresh to think about now.
Steve, there are a lot of loopholes in the laws these days. What do you think about the ball going forward for White's head and trying to try?
Yeah, a couple of easy tries in that first half for them, wasn't there? I think the one off the back of the line out, and I mean, you can go back and look at that, and he's offside before the hooker's thrown the ball, so you could argue that, and then it is what it is. We should have jumped on that ball, but two soft tries in that first half, and like Cart said, I think we started the game the way we wanted to play, and everything was working pretty well for us. I mean, for everyone to see, that's a clear knock on. We should. It's probably a tactic that maybe Italy will use going forward. They'll try and aim for the blokes' heads, see if they can get a try out of it.